Hello and good afternoon, everybody. This is Don Woolley talking to you on the Sahuarita Tea Party YouTube channel, and we are live from Sahuarita, Arizona. And we want to welcome you folks, and we're going to start a conversation pretty soon on Zoom with some special guests from the local Republican club who are doing some exciting things. And I would like to bring them on board now. There's a couple people waiting to get into the broadcast, so let me do that. And they'll be coming in here shortly. And there is Yale Wishnick is on. Hello, Yale. Can you unmute yourself? And we'll be ready to go. Sit up straight. I can't hear you. Have you got your, are you muted? And I see Kathleen Wishnick has joined us. She's waving. Just click on your screen there, Yale, and that'll unmute you, right there where the little microphone is. There you go. Hello to Kathleen and Yale. Can you hear me? Can you unmute yourselves? I'm showing you both as being muted.
Not on my end.
Okay.
You are unmuted by the host. Okay. All right. So my name is Kathleen Wishnick, and I am the chair of LD Legislative District down here in Southern Arizona. And I'm the organizer for Save Our Country Mobilizing Group.
Okay.
Okay, Yale, how can you hear us now? Are you on?
Okay. Yale Wishnick, and I'm president of the Republican Club of Green Valley, Sahuarita.
And let me tell everybody what we're doing here. The local Republican Club has put together an effort to mobilize, as the term that Yale likes to use, to mobilize the people that are engaged in helping Donald Trump win the presidency and fighting the Democrats, and revealing the doings of the mob. And so Yale has, as the president of the club, has put together 4 groups right now that are doing different things. So our goal here tonight is to have Yale kind of introduce the Stand Up for America and what it's all about, and then have the other 4 group leaders, one of them who is Kathleen Wishnick, and have them talk about their group, and I'll ask them a few questions, and then we'll just kind of have a general conversation. So Yale, if you're on, why don't you go ahead? And we are live on YouTube right now, by the way, so.
Okay. Well, we have 4 groups that have been formed under Stand Up America. Website is StandUpForAmerica.com, and we formed four groups, four organizing groups, and each group is responsible for mobilizing some actions and activities. The four groups are Defenders, the first group, and Defenders is responsible for taking a look at our local law enforcement, sheriffs, police officers, firefighters, military, first responders, and doing what we can to support them and to act in a countermeasure to what the Democratic left is doing and attacking these different organizations and different agencies. And we have a really great group formed that is in the beginning stages, and we're really excited about what they're doing. Two areas of focus for the Defenders. One is to, first of all, make sure that they know we support them and to do everything we can in the community to promote that support. The second is to make sure that law enforcement, firefighters, military, first responders know that we want them to do their job, to carry their oath of office towards the Constitution in full measure, and that we have their back. Second group is keyboard warriors, and this group is a social media group, and it's just in the beginning stages, and we're working at training club members to be social media literate, and we're excited about that. Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and so they're working on that and to connect the club throughout the Republican community. The next group is Save Our Country. Kathleen is the organizer. We'll talk certainly much more about that. But this group has been formed to respond to the broad-based attack on our republic from the Democratic Party and its allies, from local mayors all the way up through Congress. So we're excited about that group, and Kathleen can talk about that. The final group, which is extremely important, with a very interesting title. And the title is Babies Deserve the Choice Too. And as the title of this mobilizing group states, we are very concerned about the life of the unborn. And we are committed to making sure that the life of the unborn is protected. It's a very broad-based program, just off the ground, and we are working with various groups and organizations to form a network of support. These four organizations are grassroots completely. They were generated from our members of our club, and we are excited and proud of the work that they are doing. And we hope three things will happen. First is we plan to educate as much as we can all voters in our area, Green Valley, Sahuarita, all throughout southern Arizona. The second is that we plan to bring together as many Republicans, independents, and even Blue Dog Democrats into our fold to support these areas. And the third is that we're going to take action. We're mobilizing. And again, this is all driven by our Republican Club members, and we're really excited about what they're doing. So Don, that's kind of an overview of where we are at this time.
Okay, great. Good introduction. Thank you, Yale, very much. I had to mute you, Kathleen, because I could hear Yale talking on your mic in your house. So I'll have to mute you one at a time. And so I'm going to mute you, Yale, and let Kathleen talk about her group. And no one else has joined us yet. So you go ahead, Kathleen. I'm going to unmute you right now.
Okay.
And Yale is muted. So we can't hear Yale.
Okay.
We can only hear you.
Okay. Yes, I see that yell is muted. Okay. Our group is Save Our Country. We wanted to name it that because of all the lies that have been spread about our beloved President Donald J. Trump since the first, well, actually before he took office and since he took office. We have a corner here in Green Valley. It's the corner of Esperanza and La Canada. And for the last 3.5 years, the Dems have squatted on that corner every Saturday with their lies. Well, 3 weeks ago, as our Save Our Country, and one of the goals that we have is to counter the Democrats and defend the truth. Defending the truth is our mission for this group. So we decided to get them face on one Saturday morning, and they so now own that corner. And so every Saturday morning between and 9 a.m. we have a group that are there with signs and flags. And being in Green Valley, I was a little bit concerned because it's really more conservative in some places than it is. I mean, more progressive than it is conservative in many of the areas around here. But I was pleasantly surprised the day I was there because we got lots of horn honking. We had people stop. We had people come by and play patriotic music. People that went home, put on a Donald Trump shirt, and came and joined us on the corner. So we have been there for the last 3 weeks, and we plan to continue to be there till the election and doing our thing. The other thing is that besides the protesting like that, I was really pleased to hear that the Republican Club of Green Valley Sahuarita did pass a resolution about defunding education if curriculum in the classrooms. That is a movement across the United States. Currently, there are 3,500 children who are being indoctrinated by that particular curriculum. Not familiar with the 1619 project. What they are doing with the 1619 project is that they are saying that the year 1619, when the first slaves were brought to Jamestown, that they are the patriots. They are the patriots for our country. They are nullifying the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, and saying we have to take a look at slavery and how those people were patriots. They are indoctrinating our children in the public schools and not educating them for this. So what we plan to do is our group, we have 22 people in our group, and many of them have different skill sets. Some like to make presentations, some like to do research, some like to put together presentations. So what our goal is on the 1619 curriculum, put together a presentation and get out to friendly clubs. For example, there are 3 cowbell clubs in our area with all the ranching that is here. There's one in Tucson, there's one in Amado, and there is one in Tubac. So we will take our presentation down to those groups and explain to them what is going on with the 1619 curriculum. Just for an example, there are some questions that are in that curriculum, and this goes all the way from kindergarten up through high school. One of the questions is, how did you first learn about the history of slavery in the U.S.? What did you learn, and how was that presented? Another one is, what do you see as a lasting legacy of slavery? And what do you know about the contributions of Black Americans to U.S. society, and where does that information come from? So when you have something like that going all the way down to kindergarten, we're not educating, we are indoctrinating. So that is our goal, is to take care of some of that in our school systems. We're also looking to recruit some new school board members who are looking to counter putting 1619 into the curriculums and have people to fight for our, as they say, white culture, and let that continue to live in the United States of America. So we're working very hard on these things. And the other thing is that we do plan to go to the county library, but we want to do our research. Pima County Library Library has put in an entire collection of, under Black Lives Matter, curriculum on 1619 and other racist collection of books. So before we go down there, we want to have our ducks in a row so that if people ask us why we are protesting in front of the county library, we can talk to them about, do you know anything about the 1619 curriculum and how it is infiltrating our schools? So those are some of our missions that we have with our group.
Thank you, Kathleen. Great. Listen, I wanted to give you a little info about the cowbells up in the Sonoyta area.
Okay.
Carla Caffarelli is a contact up there. She, you might want to get a hold of her, and her and her husband Gene, who passed away a few years ago. Good friends, and Carla's heavily involved with the cowbells in the Sonoyta area. So I'm
So
sure
I'll get that.
yeah, I'm sure they would
I'll
be
get-
receptive.
Okay. Yeah, we plan to go all over. The cowbells are very receptive, and I know they're a nice conservative group. And I'm sure they have no idea that their children are being taught this in the classrooms. So look
Yeah,
forward to doing it.
this is a big problem, and I was honored to help draft the resolution that you were talking about, and I'm happy that the club passed it, and we need to go forward from here. So I'm gonna unmute Yale now and mute you, Kathleen. And
Okay.
no one else has joined us yet, so okay, Yale, you're on again. And any comments you'd like to make about the 1619, et cetera?
Well, Kathleen pretty much summarized it, and I think that the key point is that so many members of our community, regardless of what their demographic might be, whether they're folks that have retired or young people or individuals just starting a family, they have no idea what's going on in our schools. And that's our biggest hurdle right now. You really can't expect voters, members of the community to get too excited if they really don't know what's going on. You know, it's a situation where our communities and our country is based on trust. We trust our leaders. We trust that they're going to do the right thing. And we certainly trust them that they're going to teach our children, regardless of whether they're kindergartners or high schoolers. And that simply is not happening. The fact is that indoctrination now really has replaced education. The 1619 project, as Kathleen described, and as Don, you are absolutely correct in terms of your help on this. You put together a wonderful resolution, and we're going to make sure that that's out there for everyone to see. But for the most part, this indoctrination has been going on for years. It's just been under the radar. And it started with the PC culture, where we had to deal with political correctness, how you used words. You had to be sensitive in terms of what people's feelings were, as opposed to telling them the truth. And multiculturalism, which basically said that every culture is equal, no matter what, and that simply is not true. There are certain cultures which actually lead to success. One classic example would be if we look at our culture, we look at Nogales. Just take a look at Nogales. Look at Arizona and look at Mexico. Now, the fact of the matter is that the people in Nogales, Arizona, have a much higher standard of living than the people who live south of that. And it's not necessarily because of who these folks are. They're intelligent, they're bright, they love their families. But what's happening? In the South, we have a corrupt society where you have the cartels in control. Democracy is not valued. Individual initiative is not valued because individuals are afraid to take risks because of what the government is doing or not doing, whereas in our country, we encourage independence, we encourage innovation, we encourage personal responsibility, strong work ethic, and that's part of our culture. It has nothing to do with race. And unfortunately, what's going on in the schools today in the 1619 project, in addition to Black Lives Matter, is saying to our children, and it is saying to our children loud and clear when they're 5 years old, that being white is evil. And those are the words they're using. Is evil. That you are a racist, that you treat other people that are not white in an inferior way, and that you are systematically denying them of their opportunities. That is absolutely false. The fact of the matter is, what our schools should be doing is saying that there is an American culture of success, and it's very simple. It's hard work, it's being independent, it's being personally responsible and accountable, it's future oriented. You are postponing satisfaction to accomplish things in the future. It's family oriented. These are the kinds of things that, as the American culture and what our children are being taught now, that every parent should know, is that if these things I just went through, they are saying, be it the 1619 Project, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and the extreme left, that this is a white culture, very dangerous. So, as Kathleen indicated, her group, which is really exciting, they're passionate folks, and they're basic Americans who believe in the things that made this country great. And we're excited about that. And this little this YouTube that you're doing is a major contribution and very important to getting the word out. And we're very thankful for what you're doing, Don.
Yeah, it's it's really kind of fun to do, and it's fun to talk to people around the state when we do this, and from all parts of the state. I wanted to let the audience know that Yale and Kathleen live in Arivaca, so if there are kind of audio problems, or we apologize for any audio problems, but we do the best we can with the technology we have and the internet connections that we all have. So I want to. I'm gonna unmute Kathleen now, and we can talk a little bit about. Maybe you guys can talk a little bit about the other three groups, since they're not going to be represented here tonight. It doesn't look like anybody else has joined us, and I want to let you know we can do this again in 3 or 4 weeks. We can get everybody back on and see where you're at and what kind of progress you think you're making, and you're trying to, I think doing this, the goal of my doing this is to help you attract people to join in the effort, so that you can grow and you can get more people to help you mobilize and do the things you want to do. Because I think your leadership's there now. So let me unmute Kathleen, and okay, now you're both on, and if you could just maybe wiggle a little bit closer up to your mics and talk a little softer, and we won't hear the other one when the other one's talking. So
Okay, I just have 2 more questions I want to present. Imagine that you're a young 13-year-old person going into high school, and you get into a history class, and your faculty member hits you with this question day 1. How do societal structures develop to support the enslavement of Black people and the anti-Black racism that was cultivated in the United States to justify slavery influence many aspects of our modern laws, our policies, our systems, and our culture?
good
Think
question.
that might be you think that might be a little loaded question for those 4 freshmen coming in? And then the second question is, how have resistance, innovation, and advocacy by Black Americans over the course of Black history contributed to the nation's wealth and the strengthening of its democracy? So those would be day one in the classroom.
I just got a message on my screen that Zoom's allowing us 10 more minutes. So
Okay, all right.
I wanted to warn you about that.
Okay, summarizing though, based on what you said, Don, we hope folks will go to Stand Up, and there's a dash between Stand and Up, for the number 4, America.com, and join our groups. These groups, we would like folks to join. It's a community. It's like Facebook, but it's much more mobilizing and much more organizing in terms of what we emphasize. And as you indicated, this is just the beginning. And we hope to be a spark for other Republican clubs and organizations around the state of Arizona, because we are kind of on the front lines in so many ways. And again, what you're doing is really helping that cause. We had a meeting today. It was an exciting meeting. We had about 30 folks, and we're very excited about where we're headed.
So one of the things I was going to recommend too is we'll kind of give you plugs all the time whenever we have a program. You know, I try to do this weekly. I'm not always successful doing that, but I'm trying to do at least one weekly show. Now, next week I'm going to do 2 shows. Next Wednesday I'm going to have Ken Bennett on, our former Secretary of State, and he has some very strong feelings right now about the Governor Ducey's approach to the pandemic. And then Thursday night next week, Paul Fitch is going to come back on and kind of talk about the survivalist side of the pandemic and where we're at now and what we're doing. But I want to commend you guys for what you do. And I know we've known Yale and Kathleen for a long time, and I know Yale has had this dream in his head for some time to get a Stand Up for America going somehow, some way. and it's sort of coming into fruition now. So doesn't that make you feel a lot of pride and worth the wait?
Well, yes, it does. And of course, you and Patty and Kathleen and so many others, we've been trying. And I think we now have some traction. And I also think that all of us together, it's at a tipping point. With the situation now, and I think we all would agree that when we start looking from the presidential election between the president and Biden, we have a lot at stake, but it goes all the way down to the mayors. And so I think we're at a good spot to really make some progress and restore the republic. I'm very hopeful.
So I think it'd be good to everybody work, both of you and myself and everybody else, to go ahead and hold that up, Kathleen. I like that Trump sign. I can see it.
This summarizes the difference between our beloved president and Biden.
I don't think they can see the whole thing.
Yeah, open borders, border security, jobs, unemployment, law and order, lawlessness, freedom and liberty, and I can't see the other side across from freedom and liberty, but other way. No, that's good. That's probably one of your open borders, yeah. Unemployment, flat economy, or no economy, right?
You can tell, John, we're on a low budget here in terms of our slides.
No, I understand. That's beautiful. So I really like that. Yeah.
So it definitely tells people, if you want a flat economy, unemployment, open borders, lawlessness, socialism, and globalism, vote for Biden.
Yeah.
If you want economic security, jobs, security, law and order, freedom and liberty, vote for Donald Trump.
I know, before we close here, and I'm sure they'll pull the plug on us when they want to. I don't know how that, how quickly they'll do that, but, I think I just saw some information where, a lot of people don't realize, and I sent this out through the Google groups, that, Donald Trump has pulled the plug on the illegal aliens out of the census. And, they're not gonna be included in the census. So, he has written an order to the
Right.
Commerce Department to not include illegal aliens. So,
Wonderful.
they kind of fought that and went to the court, blah, 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 blah. But he actually has, ultimately, he's the decision maker on the census. So, so they're not, he says, we're not going to allow people that are not supposed to be in this country to be a voting bloc, to be a group of people that determine our future. So, I thought that was really good, and I don't know if everybody saw that or not.
Right.
See it.
Yeah,
Didn't-
so,
Oh, Trump.
yeah, right. These little things, he's doing these little things, and not everybody realizes that's kind of the purpose I see of the Google groups and sending out. I know sometimes it seems like a lot of information, a lot of emails, but I really think most people want to know, and they want to know what's going on, and they want to be informed. And the only way you're going to inform them is to send them the information. Now, if someone thinks they're getting too many emails, they don't have to look at them, I guess. But I get compliments all the time. I have people come up to me all the time and say, wow, you send out a lot of stuff, but keep it coming. So, so that's what we're doing. And if you belong to the Sahuarita Tea Party, or if you're a member of the Republican Club of Green Valley Sahuarita, they each have their own Google group, and it's a good communication tool. So anyway, spread the word about the YouTube program. This will be up and watchable anytime anybody wants to see it. I'll make sure it gets up. It'll be there from this point on. And I appreciate you both coming on. And I'm going to leave you with this. Patty and I watched a program last night on YouTube about the 10 worst cities in Arizona. And unfortunately, Arivaca was pretty high on the list because of the crime, which I looked at Patty. I said, well, Kathleen and Yale probably know that. I mean, they live there. So you're close to the border. It's wide open country. And you got, the Santa Cruz Sheriff watching things, right?
Actually, no, Pima County.
Oh,
We're Pima County.
are you Pima County? Oh, okay. So is Amato is in Santa Cruz County, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
it is. Right.
Okay.
So as you drive down Arivaca Road, you go in and out of Santa
Okay.
Cruz, and then where we live is Pima, right?
Okay.
But if you like high drug trafficking and people trafficking, come visit.
Yeah, well, I have inside information that Pima County Sheriff is hiring 10 more deputies in a special unit to come down to your area.
Good.
And they got some federal money. It's not the Stone Garden money, but it's a different money, and that's what it's going to be used for. And I was told by the boss, and you know who that is. So you're going to get some help. But we want you guys to be protected. So, there's a lot of citizen warriors around here that will come down and help you if you ever needed it. Right?
Well, on Tuesday night, we have our Sheriff's Citizen Advisory Committee, so I'm sure he will share that with all of us.
Oh, yeah, I bet he will. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Yale. It's good to see you both. And listen,
see you.
Patty and I expect a priority seat at your birthday party. Okay? So
Well, at
just
least you
keep
know
that in
about
mind.
it.
We want to be close to the happy couple.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, sounds good.
You guys
Thank
take
you, guys.
care. You're welcome.
Have a good evening. Say hi,
You too.
Patty.
I will.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a good interview. I wish the other folks would have got to join us. I'm sorry they didn't, but it was fun. Kathleen and Yale are really good people, and we enjoy talking to them. And I think that I think we'll have them on again here in a few weeks. We'll see if we can't get more of the groups to come on and talk about what they're doing. If you're interested in joining the group, you can go to the Republican Club of Green Valley Sahuarita website, which is repclubgvs.org. Rep Club, R-E-P, Club, C-L-U-B, GVS.org. And if you go there, you'll see Stand Up for America is one of the choices on your on the menu at the top of the web page, and in there is a link that you can go to their website, which is part of the club, and you can sign up. It has a sign up function, and then you can in there you can join up with one of the groups if you'd like to. One of the really interesting groups is the Keyboard Warriors, which we didn't go into a lot tonight, but they're taking care of Facebook, Twitter, and some of the other social media sites, and I help them with their Keyboard Warriors, especially Twitter. Anyway, that's fun. That's something you can do from home, and it's actually pretty enjoyable to just try to spread the word out. And then I want to let you know again that Ken Bennett will be on here next Wednesday night, 5 o'clock. Ken Bennett used to be the Arizona Secretary of State under Governor Brewer, and he has been a House member in Arizona, a Senate member. He was Senate President. He's got a long track record in Arizona government. So, and Ken also ran for governor a few years ago. So he's going to be on with us, and we're going to talk about Governor Ducey and what he's done during the pandemic, and good, bad, indifferent, whatever. Some of the decisions he's made, and that should be a really interesting discussion. And then next Thursday night, we're going to talk with Paul Fitch, who's a kind of a local, knowledgeable guy. I don't like using the word expert, but he's an authority on survival and survival techniques. And he was on here on a show. You can go on the YouTube channel, go look back at his video, but we're going to kind of pick it up from where he left off and talk about where we're at now, what we're doing, what the country's doing, where we're at with food supplies, emergency supplies, all those kind of things. Has anybody had trouble getting things? I know it's been spotty, but typically most things have been in supply. We've seen some paper products problems at Fry's, but we haven't been out of anything, and they seem to have the shelves stocked once in a while. Although we've heard people say up in Tucson that their shelves are stocked all the time. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but we're not going to go up to Tucson to shop. We do go up to Sam's. The other thing we'll talk about is the mask wearing, wearing a mask, etc. Good, bad, indifferent, social distancing, some of those kind of things. The other thing I want to let you know tonight is Joanne Sabah, who is a write-in candidate for Pima County Assessor, is going to be at the Republican Club headquarters, 101 South La Cañada, Suite 60, tomorrow at 12 noon at their brown bag session. She'll be speaking down there. And that's right off of Esperanza in the Green Valley Village. And then coming up on July 29th, Daniel McCarthy, who's also running for U.S. Senate against Martha McSally in the primary, he is going to be at the Republican Club headquarters, and so you'll be able to talk, meet him, listen to him, and that's July 29th. I believe that's a Tuesday. So anyway, we hope July 28th, July 29th. If you check the calendar on the Republican Club website, it's got all the dates and all the activities on there. So it might be July 28th. I'm not positive. Tuesday, Wednesday that week. I think it's Tuesday. But anyway, we will see you next week. You all take care of yourselves. Be safe. And we'll be lining up some more people to talk to and doing some more Zoom things. Zoom is a little more compatible with our studio software, so we like using Zoom, and we can't always control the audio from our guests. We apologize for that. And that's all up to the internet and what their internet speed is and the quality of their microphone they're using and those kind of things. So we have a studio mic here, as you can see, and so it does help make myself sound a little better. I have to watch the volume. Sometimes it seems low, but it's been pretty good, and we're learning as we go. So anyway, God bless you all. Take care. You're all patriots, and we hope to see you next week. And good night from Sahuarita, Arizona.